everyone. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. We've got two teams here looking to find a way to win. It's the Ravens coming in at 0-5, going up against the Black Knights, who come in at 2-3. With that, let's get you on up to Baltimore as we welcome in our commentary team of Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Larry, we are coming to you from the heart of Baltimore, nestled between Russell Street and I-395. We're at M&T Bank Stadium. Tonight we kick off Week 6 with a great Thursday night matchup between the London Black Knights and the Baltimore Ravens. The one running back is Gurley. Wilson. Oh, he's going to air it out right away. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, second down. And the quarterback, he's got some big threats at wideout.
And they seem to get bigger all the time, don't they, Brandon? Every time I look out and watch a game, we're getting these bigger, more athletic, acrobatic receivers. We have some today.
And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. And here are the Raven defensive starters.
C.J. Mosley's your prototypical Alabama linebacker. They'll come downhill and smack you, but they understand the game so well.
So now an early 3rd and 10 here on their opening drive. On 3rd down, Wilson. He's got his man on the crossing route. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. Fielded just inside the 30. It'll go as a 42, make it a 43-yard punt. 6 on the return, and the Ravens, they'll take over. Boykin on 1st down. Going to throw right side here, complete. 1st down coming there on the intermediate passing play. That's been a point of emphasis, they told us in practice, using those medium routes to keep the defense off balance.
And it wasn't just them telling us. We got to watch them practice it and work on it because they've been trying to fine-tune it and get it right before this game. And I think they have to be happy with the result.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Their big-bodied receiver, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Ravens have taken the early lead. And the Ravens lead at 7-0. Here's the kick unit now for the Ravens as they'll send this one away. And he almost flirted with disaster there, but it does get into the end zone before going out, and they'll bring it out to the 25. So out now comes the offense back onto the field. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Benny Logan in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8.
Sometimes I watch.
And now the Raven defense going to call a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. On second down, Wilson. That's complete. It's Gordon. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a third down.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? Throwing is Wilson. He's going to wind up and air it out. And that's caught at the 25. Touchdown! Corey Coleman, his third touchdown now on the year. And his guys are an extra point away from tying this thing up. Well, you know he can be explosive, and he's ultra explosive there on the fly route.
And you know how many times we've talked to coaches and we've had quoted back to us, well, you know something? When you execute really well, it doesn't matter if they know it's coming or not. Well, sometimes athleticism beats you as well. He just took off and went. And that's almost like one of your Turkey Bowl games, isn't it? Just go long,
Backyard.
man. I'll hit you. And it worked really well for them.
So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This one taken from the 7. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. First down and 10 now for the offensive group. One receiver left, 3 to the right.
Come on, let's go! Come on.
Boykin on 1st and 10. Quick hitter here, it's complete. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
On second down, it's Boykin. He'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. Oh, he breaks a tackle, and he's got an alley. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
Come on, let's go! 1, 9, 1.
They go play action here on first down. Now he's going to throw it deep to the other side of the field. And nearly picked it off. He had a chance to come down with that in the end zone, but it'll wind up just being incomplete. This offense can be flashy at times, and a big reason for that is Perryman.
I like the way you use the word big because that's exactly what Breshad Perryman is. A big receiver with a ton of speed. Runs so well, yet that strength downfield really confounds defensive backs. Is it okay if I tell you I played against his dad in college?
No, I'm just impressed that you worked confounds into the broadcast.
I'm impressed I'm still alive because I played against his...
A 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Now this offense ready to head back out there. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. And he stopped immediately there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. So nothing there. I don't know that that's all in the back, though. You got to look at blocking there, don't you?
I would agree with that totally. At some point, they have to win at the point of attack. Instead, it was the defense getting it done again and holding them to no gain.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. Now it's Wilson. Wide open receiver complete. And he goes out of bounds across the 40-yard line. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. Gets it to Gordon. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It'll go as a gain of 10 there. And that'll give him a first down.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there, because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag, because when you do, you can just put the ball on him and then let him run.
Yeah, he's got some space. On 1st down, it's Gurley. And he's brought down. 11 yards on the pickup, and it'll give him the first down.
Whenever we meet with coaches and they always talk about wanting to establish running the football, it's oftentimes with a good tight end who can control the line of scrimmage and the point of attack, and they're becoming harder to find because the colleges are giving us a whole lot of receiving tight ends, former wide receivers who can run, not necessarily block very well. In this case, though, we saw 2 tight ends on the field, both of them with the ability to block, and they ran the ball successfully behind that power set.
Second and 10 now. Wilson eluding the pressure right. And he'll just throw this one over in the way of the security crew. Incomplete here.
Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
Now, he's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete. On 3rd down, Wilson. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, C.J. Mosley. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. Looked like they had something going last drive. Then the interception happened. Will they recover?
The memory they need to keep with them is that they did have something going. They were moving the ball on offense, had a nice sequence going. Don't worry about the other part. You can't get that back. Let's go back to what you were doing well before.
I thought you were going to say they need to have no memory, but remember the good part, forget the bad.
I like that even better.
As we get a look at the defensive starters, the secondary, they're certainly going to need to be on their toes in this one.
And you know me really well. Where do I start analyzing a game? From the secondary. And these guys have to be on point today. They're facing a high-powered attack.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. He had time, was able to survey the field and find a soft spot in that zone coverage.
And that's where it gets difficult for a defender, Brandon. You go to your spots on the field that you have to cover, and when the offense finds an area that you're not in, that's where they throw the football.
The rookie Boykin to throw. Over the middle, it's complete. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. Fresh set of downs here. Second quarter now. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis with you. It's the Ravens who have the football, and they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. They don't give it here to his running back. And some room to roam now. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here. Now Boykin on 2nd down. And this is caught at the And he's brought down, but not before reaching the 8-yard line.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do, and it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there, kind of like put up on the top shelf where the kids can't get it. You got to give some credit. They're able to hop up in the air and bat that one away, and that's frustrating for an offensive lineman because the only recourse is when he goes in the air to try and give some type of a pop or a shove, hoping to bring his arms down.
And he goes in motion here in the backfield. They snap it at 1. Now it's Boykin. Incomplete.
All defenders get tired of hearing about their lack of hands and why they're playing defense instead of offense. But in this situation, it was the hands that made the play. Batting the ball away on an attempted touchdown pass. Excellent job. Way to knock it down.
Six plays got him down here. This is play number 7, 3rd and goal.
Let's go.
3rd and goal. Boykin. This will be caught at about the 6. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. And Zuerlein's kick is good. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. So give them 3 there. A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they couldn't punch it in.
And credit this defense, too. That was the old bend but don't break approach. But it kept the offense out of the end zone.
This one taken just inside the 10. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. And now back out comes the offense. And in enemy territory last time through the interception. We'll see what they do on this drive.
Can't wait to see how it alters what they decide to do in play calling. Do they continue to throw the ball? Do they want to lean more on the running game? It'll be an interesting sequence of plays that they've got coming up.
Does it often affect the play calling with the interception? How much does that change what you do?
I think it does.
And got his man complete. Evades the tackler and now some space. And all the way in for the touchdown. Josh Gordon, his 4th touchdown on the year. And his guys are going to retake the lead. And that time, he came out of the slot for that big play downfield for the score.
I think what we just saw there, partner, was what we call scheming a guy open. Put him in the slot, know that he has tremendous speed. What you're doing with your other receivers is likely running shorter routes to draw the attention closer to the line of scrimmage, to give him a chance to get downfield and turn it into a one-on-one route. Often against the safety, you like your odds when he's running against the safety. His speed usually wins, and it did on that play.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But you also have to remember, they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done. It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball, and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's sensed being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. 2nd and 10 now. Boykin. He sets to fire deep. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
They decided to air it out a little bit on that play, take a shot downfield, but the coverage was really nice. Able to get a hand in and tip it away.
So incomplete on 2nd down. Now they'll look to convert here on 3rd.
Here we go. 1, 9.
on third down. Boykin. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively and then just continued there with that incompletion.
Yeah, definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
Taken from just outside the 30. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the offense will come back onto the field with a 1st and 10. Now this offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And last time the formula was pretty simple. One play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, one play drives exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was real easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
Yeah, we'll see if it's that easy here.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. He's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers. They're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
On second down, here's Wilson. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the longtime Charger, Eric Weddle.
Eric Weddle's one of my favorite players in the league, Brandon. A guy that always seems to be in the right place at the right time, making a play on the football. And he has excellent hands, as we just saw there.
And they'll start this drive with very good field position.
Come on, let's go. What? 90. Flex round. Flex round. Flex round. Flex round.
After the interception, here's Boykin. To the sideline, and oh, a nice catch there. Made sure the feet were inbounds, and they were.
Was that a receiver? Yeah, actually it was. It was a running back who was a receiver on the play. Ike's been spending time in the receiver drills getting his feet down.
Well, those guys out of the backfield, they got to be good, agile with their feet. He showed the agility there with a toe tap.
No doubt about it. It's like he'd run to ballet school. Got the toes down and stayed in bounds.
Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. They'll get nothing out of that one, and it's going to lead to a 3rd down. So nothing there, but maybe you blame that on the blocking.
Yeah, at some point, you've got to win at the point of attack. And on that play, that was all the defense. They made it happen.
In danger of squandering their great field position as they come up on a 3rd and 7.
Here we go. What? 90. What? 90.
From the gun on 3rd, it's Boykin. That is caught. He didn't get the touchdown, but he did get the 1st down as he's tackled at the 1. Going old reliable there to the slot on 3rd down.
And the slot position has become the bane of just about every defense's existence because how do you cover? Do you go with a bigger guy to try and use size? Got to try to go with a quicker guy, and sometimes you even get out quick there. Very difficult to match up with that slot receiver. That's why they keep going back to him.
And he's had the hot hand. They come out here in the eye. And he will take it in for a Ravens touchdown. It's their quarterback with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. And the Ravens have once again taken the lead. It's good, and they'll take a 17-14 lead. Here's the kick unit now for the Ravens as they'll send this one away. This one taken just inside the 10. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And here now the offense heading back out there. And 2 interceptions already here in this first half. That's got to affect him a little bit, right? He's got to be thinking about it.
He's got to be thinking about it, but most of the good ones, they find a way to put it aside. They're not happy about it by any stretch of the imagination. They find a way to put it aside and continue to play their game.
Can he put it aside? Let's find out. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue. And now with that completion, he's north of 200 yards here in the first half.
And he's going to break our statistician, Marvin, isn't he? Because Marvin right now is just tallying it up. Hope his hand doesn't hurt too much doing this or keeps hitting the calculator. But my goodness, what a start he is off to. By the end of this game, he could have monster numbers. He just wants to continue to be accurate. We talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's where it really pays off. Able to move, evade, and is accurate throwing on the run and picking up a first down.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. They'll come out in the pistol. Now Wilson. Dancing to his left. Wide open receiver complete. They'll get 17 yards there. And that'll be good enough for the first.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, he was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice first down.
From the red zone now, here's Wilson on first down. And they'll set up the screen to Gurley. And he'll get this down inside the 5 to the 4 before he's out of bounds.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Now on second down, this is Gurley. He can't bring him down.
The weight room does work.
And give him 2 yards there as they're set up now with a first and goal.
Now that's the way to do it. Hand it to someone with vision and good footwork and add in a little bit of power, and you find a way to pick up first downs.
And they're definitely showing blitz here. Again, we'll see the pistol here. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And he gets into the end zone for the touchdown. Devin Funchess, his second touchdown on the season. And his guys have once again taken the lead. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And the Ravens taking the field. And they're going to need another score. Got one last time, but still down here.
When you're playing catch-up, every possession becomes crucial, doesn't it? It's vital. Get back out on the field, punch it in the end zone again. They know it's not easy, but what they do have going for them, they did score the last time. They think they've got a good formula working.
And what about the defense?
Well, now you're just saying to yourself, okay, we gave up a score last time. What adjustments do we need to make to slow them down now and get the ball back for our own offense? Is it more pressure? Is it more zone? What do they have to do? They're trying to figure that out themselves.
We'll see if they can figure that out right here. Boykin. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. They hold him to only 2 there on the screen. It's second down.
In order for a screen pass to break big, a lot of things have to come together and be well executed. But all it takes is one small thing to go wrong and keep it from being a big game.
So they complete the pass, and now they face. Now hang on here. Timeout called by the defense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime.
Here we go. What? Ohio. Flex round.
On second down, it's Boykin. Going up top. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
Tough spot for the offense. 3rd and 8.
Let's go. 190. 190. Ohio. Ohio. Flex round. Flex round.
On 3rd down, Boykin. He's going to let it go again. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. Now, whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime.
Here we go. 190. 190. Flex round. Flex round. Flex round. Flex round.
They'll throw on first with Boykin. He's going to try and go deep again. Oh, he had 6 points in his hands there. Couldn't hang on. 2nd down.
In this situation, it's really tough to figure out how to defend because they have plenty of room to still take deep shots at the end zone as they just did there. Yet at the same time, you've got to be ready for the short throw. In this case, when you see the cue that they're going for the end zone, retreat and make sure you have a way to play forward, back towards the receiver, and have a chance to bat the ball away as they did there.
Ohio. Ohio.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Boykin. He rifles one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. Now this offense ready to take over again. And with time quickly fading here in the 2nd quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
After the interception, here's Wilson. And oh, look at that, a diving catch. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Throwing now, Wilson on 1st down. Forced out to his left. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he was able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
And they line up now for what will likely be the last play of the first half. Final play of the half. It's Wilson. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. So we've reached halftime here in a 4-point game. As we send you down to our EA Sports Studios in Orlando, where we find our man Larry Ridley with our halftime report. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Out come the Ravens now. They'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
One receiver left, 3 to the right. Now Boykin on second down. Now they go screen. It's complete.
Another miss.
Still on his feet. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. A good pickup there of 20 yards. So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve.
Let's go. Brand 38. Brand 38. Flex round. Flex round. Flex round.
From midfield now, Boykin. His throw incomplete. He was looking for his tight end, Crockett Gilmore, there. And that'll bring up second down.
I wouldn't be shocked at all right now if there's a look of surprise on the big fella's face because he had the route that he wanted, running the corner. And usually he's able to use his body and catch the football. But a really nice play by the defenders, able to knock it away.
Second and 10. It's Boykin again. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it. Sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And, yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made. So still a full 10 yards to go here for the offense on third down.
Here we go. What? 90. What? 90. Round. Ohio.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
As tight ends go, he might not provide the super flashy plays very often, but he's pretty reliable. Usually an excellent target and normally catches what's thrown to him, but he didn't on that play.
This is away and a very good kick, angled for the sidelines. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we've got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Our defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
The one running back is Gurley. Now they'll run it on the toss. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
One of the toughest things for an offensive lineman to learn is the ability to get in space and hit people who are moving targets. And linebackers are not easy ones to hit because they know how to move, juke, and make you.
And he'll be grabbed from behind and slung down like a rag doll. They get to him for a loss of 4, and it brings up third down on the sack. And quickly they get to the line. Wilson now off the bootleg. They'll roll him out right. And he fires one, but incomplete. He was looking for Terrell Pryor that time. Now 4th down. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, third quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot. But they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
12 yards on the return that time. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Ravens offense now, they get set and head back onto the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Offense still needing 10 yards. 2nd down.
Come on, let's go. Ryan 38. Ryan 38.
2nd and 10 now. Boykin. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete.
Everything about that play tells you about today's NFL offenses and what they're asking out of running backs. You can't just be a guy who can run the football. You have to be able to catch it as well, and he didn't get that done on that play.
Let's go. Ohio. 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 Ohio.
On 3rd down, Boykin. And he'll be hit from behind and taken down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack. Boy, he came in off the edge so quickly there.
Look out, because that's exactly what it was being shouted by the offensive lineman to his quarterback, because he had no chance to block him.
And he puts a little something extra into this one, by far his best of the night. This is taken at the 15. Great blocking, nearly sprung him there. 28-yard return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Out comes this offensive unit as they get set to take over here. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area. Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good 1st down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on 1st down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down. They'll stick to the ground game with Gurley. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. And they're going to hurry back to the line now. On 3rd down, Wilson. Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. And now that brings up 4th down there, a loss of 6 yards on the sack.
That's his 2nd sack of the game. And the best defensive ends, they do their homework as much as offensive guys do. They know how to beat the offensive lineman across from them, what moves they need to do to set them up. This guy's been pretty good at it all game long.
Taken in at the 22. They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
As long as you go through your proper reads and progressions, the drag route can be one of those old reliable plays because usually it's good for a good chunk of yardage, as we just saw there.
And those guys like it, right? They can get the ball with a full head of steam.
Especially against man coverage, because man coverage, particularly running away from someone and not worried about traffic coming out on the other end.
Now the rookie Boykin, and his throw here's incomplete. So incomplete on first. Let's see what second down has in store.
Let's go. Flex round. Flex round.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Boykin. Looking sideline, incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
Come on, let's go. Flex round. Flex round. Flex round. Flex round.
Throwing again here, Boykin. Wide open receiver, complete. A good pickup there at 22.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Now Boykin on first down. And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. So out now comes the offense back onto the field. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
After the interception, here's Wilson. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Second down now after the pass completion.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
On second down, Wilson gets it to Gordon. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Back now in Baltimore. As we've got the final quarter upon us, we get ready to start the fourth. So here we go, a third down after the second down pass completion. They'll try and pick up the first with Gurley. And he'll have the first down as he's up to about the 18. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
Well, partner, they might want to tear up their scouting reports a little bit here because they just broke tendency. Third down, you don't ordinarily see a toss. They ran it, and they ran it really well and picked up a first down. I love the way the edges were sealed, which allowed him to get to the corner.
Looks like the defense in press coverage here. On first down, Wilson. Coleman has it here right side. That's one of those ones that is so hard to judge, but defensive holding there, that's what the referee saw.
What terrifies defenses when they see slant routes thrown is that the receiver is on the move, and oftentimes he catches it and gets upfield. That's a really nice job rallying to him and stopping him for a minimal gain.
Following the penalty, it's Gurley. Trying to turn the corner, but he's going to be stopped right near the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. And in this situation with the lead fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
On second down, here's Wilson. Flushed out right. And an alley to run. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. Call it a gain of 5. And that'll make it 3rd down.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit. 3rd and 5, so they bring in an extra defensive back.
Expecting pass. Now it's Wilson. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
That was a classic example of trying to run with the ball without securing the catch. He was thinking about those rack yards instead of making the catch first and then taking off.
And on now is the punter as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
Throwing here, Boykin on first. Flush to his right. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. A great read, and it's picked off. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line. Now this offense ready to head back out there. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. He was looking for Todd Gurley, and that'll bring up 2nd down. So they just got the football on an interception. They almost gave it right back the same way.
And you know, when you look over to the bench after that type of a play, number 1 is pure relief. Didn't give it up. But it's not the coach you're worried about yelling at you. It's those guys on defense who just intercepted the pass who want to break over there. Hey, take care of the football, man.
Here's Wilson. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors. But that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. And that one pushes the lead up to 11. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up. A good start there on this 4th quarter drive. They need more of what we just saw.
Down a couple of scores. There's still time, all right? It's not like they're totally out of it, but they have to score quickly, and they're going to need some big-time plays, chunk plays, explosive plays. They need yardage on each snap.
And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Boykin. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
Doesn't matter whether it's a zone coverage or man coverage. The drag route can be effective when it's run well.
Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10.
Let's go! Ohio!
From midfield now, Boykin. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. It's a gain of 5, and it'll make it a 2nd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. It goes as a gain of 8. It moves the chains. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
And nearly another interception. They've been around the ball all game.
While an incomplete pass certainly doesn't look like a good play, for the guy throwing it today, as many interceptions he's thrown, he's got to feel a sigh of relief that the ball actually hit the ground and didn't go in the other direction.
Here we go! What?
2nd and 10. It's Boykin again. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. That winds up pushing him back 11 yards on the sack. And that'll bring up 3rd. 7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. 3rd and long for Boykin. And a quick throw here, that's complete. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
That's certainly playing down and distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it.
Here we go! What? 90! Ohio!
Here we go. It's Boykin on 4th. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. Got the hand caught up in the grill of the face mask. 15-yard penalty.
So tough for a defender. You're trying so hard to make a play, and the way that these offensive guys can move around, sometimes your hand gets into the wrong place.
One receiver left, 2 to the right. Boykin on 1st and 10. He's going to get this one out to his fullback. And here he'll get it down to the 7. Give him 6 on the play, and it'll bring up a 2nd down. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo.
It's interesting because when I'm watching college football and I'm evaluating guys for the draft now, my list of fullbacks, pure fullbacks, it's a very short list.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. And the offense readies for play number 10 of this series.
Here we go! What? 90! Ohio! 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 Ohio!
From the gun on 3rd, it's Boykin. This will be caught at the 2. And he won't have the touchdown, but he will have the first down as he's tackled at the 2. Quick pass play there on the slant, Charles. Works out well for the offense.
The offense loves it. The defender hates it. Hard to get through the body of the receiver.
And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet.
And there's the touchdown that they needed, so they'll celebrate. But the guys on the sidelines, they've got to stay focused. The onside kick team, they need them to get the ball back.
Yeah, part 1 of the equation done. Now they need to convert and get that onside kick.
Flex round! Flex round! Flex round! Flex round!
They'll look to throw. And now the pressure gets there, and he goes down. So he couldn't get rid of the football, and that deficit stays right where it is. So still a little over 40 seconds to go. Time enough to put a drive together if they can get this onside kick. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Unable to connect on the first down pass play. Now it's second down.
19.
Wilson wants to throw it. And he comes back with one complete. And now the Ravens are going to take another timeout. That'll be their second, so one more chance to stop the clock here. And we'll be back. Defense showing blitz. Wilson to throw. And the third down pass falls incomplete. Josh Gordon, the intended receiver. And it's 4th and 3. So on now is Brandon McManus. He has hit from as far away as 57, but that was in Denver. This will be kicked from the 42. It's a 52-yard attempt. So, Charles, I think from a defensive perspective, you have to look at that field goal there and consider it a win.
You were able to keep them within a touchdown, so no question about it. That was the kind of stand that keeps you in ball games.
After splitting the uprights, McManus to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And with time a factor here late, he'll just take a knee, and they'll start things out at the 25. The Ravens offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. One possession game, time very much a factor. How does the offense handle this situation?
Well, in a lot of cases, they should be somewhat relaxed. And I know that's counterintuitive because this is a pressure situation. But this is Friday practice every week of the season. You go over this situation, having to go downfield, limited time.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. That'll be their third and final stoppage here as we step aside. He'll look to throw. Buying time to his left. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by the Alabama man, Dre Kirkpatrick. And that is going to seal this victory as time runs out. Well, we were on hand for a fun and entertaining game here, coming down really to that last play. Great job defensively to get the pick and seal it.
And we know that every play during a game matters. You're never sure which one's going to be one of the key ones. But at the end of the game, when you analyze it, 3, 4, 5 plays are going to be the ones you focus on. And that last play was one of them. The last shot had to take it, and they came up with the interception and sealed their victory.
So for our visitors, they climb back to 500 now at 3 up and 3 down. And they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week, where they take on the Seattle Seahawks. Meanwhile, for the Ravens, the downward spiral continues as they drop to 0-6 now. And they'll look to get back on the beam next week as they host the Pittsburgh Steelers. That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, find us on Twitter at EA Madden NFL. From Baltimore, good night, everybody.
We set the roof on fire. 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 We set the roof. We set the roof. We set the roof on fire. We set the roof. We set the roof. We set the roof on fire.
If I'm not mistaken, home team made it. 2 threes on my feet, then I pump fake. Baby girl, grab the quick. What if kiss it? Sway Lee, Mr. Couldn't took it quicker. Hottest on the planet, got the place lit up. Fly, got expensive taste, sight into. We ain't on the same team. Cheer up. Bunch of that make sit up. I ain't come to blend in, boy, I stand out. Money talks, you just popping off at the mouth. If I'm the topic, then the conversation heated. Right shrimp, getting booked up in every city. Splash out with cash, had to spaz on the waiter. She messed up my order 3 times in a row. I'm good on gas, I just filled up my tank. Now let's fill up her head and let's see if she goes.
We set the roof on fire. 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 We set the roof. We set the roof. We set the roof on fire. We set the roof. We set the roof. We set the roof on fire.
So bad, swimming in my bed. Off with that, off with that. Young Slim, get it in my infrared. Come and hit the rain, I just lit the gas. Young wild winning, living fast. Stash your money in a brown paper bag. We set the roof on fire, then we flood it out. We just threw the money up, we ain't even count. Shake it. It in my speeder, girl, I'm nothing, messing up my speech. I'm $1 million player, baby, nothing's at my reach. I'm $1 million, like I hit the lottery. Splash her with cash, had to spaz on the waitress. She messed